Happy fall, y'all. Welcome to Ocean Point Christian Church Online. We are so glad that you're joining us this morning, especially if you're brand new to the Ocean Point experience. If this is your first time checking out Ocean Point Online, we're so glad that you're doing so. And we would love to connect with you in some way. You can do that by downloading the Ocean Point app and filling out the Connect card, or just by typing a comment. We would love to connect with you in some way, shape, or form. My name is Brady, and I'm part of the team here. And we believe that there is hope for absolutely everyone in a relationship with Jesus, and that includes you. So you couldn't be in a better spot right now. Now, a couple things about our gathering today. We're going to be taking communion, and we're going to be sharing in worship in just a little while, so stick around for that. Also, a huge shout out to the home churches that are meeting right now, especially mine. You guys rock. And also, we haven't been physically gathering for quite some time, at least in a way that is conducive for us to take up an offering. Offering is something that we do as a spiritual act of worship to give back financially. And we want to encourage you, if you haven't made the decision to do so yet, to make the transition to digital giving. You can do that online at oceanpointri.com/give, or by downloading the app and giving there. It's not a way of setting it and forgetting it, but a way of giving digitally and recurringly in a way that makes it a top priority in our lives, because giving is a spiritual act of worship. We would encourage you to do that. We're going to hear a great message today from our lead pastor, Jeff, but before we do that, a few words about an exciting event that we always get excited about this time of year.
With all the different restrictions, how are we going to bring joy and excitement to the children of our community this Halloween, you ask? Well, let me show you. But in order to do that, we need a ton of candy. And I mean literally 1 ton of candy, 2,000 pounds. So we need your help. If you're able to provide some of that candy, we would love for you to be able to donate it and drop it off so that we could share the hope this Halloween through Light the Night. You can drop it off at one of our parking lot services on either October 11th or the 25th, or we'll also set up some times where you can drop it off during the week. Just kind of pay attention for where those are at. And we are excited to be able to partner with you as we light the night. I bought this hammock about 8 weeks ago from a yard sale. I bought it as a gift for my wife, Rachel. But it was one of those gifts that was as much a gift for me as it was for her. Kind of like if you've ever taken a child birthday shopping for their sibling and they really spend the whole time searching for something that they want. Or maybe like a couple's massage where it's like, hey, I'm going to get as much out of this as you're going to get out of this. Because my thought was, hey, if we have a hammock, maybe this will be the thing that'll force me, at the very least encourage me, to pause more often, to rest, to relax, to take a Saturday afternoon and enjoy this beautiful weather before it gets too cold. After all, I even have this shirt that says, I like to party. And by party, I mean take naps. So this should be right up my alley, right? But here we are, 8 weeks later. And I've come out here 3, maybe 4 different times. And every time the same thing happens. Just a couple minutes in, I start to get antsy, thinking about all the things that I should be doing. Or my phone buzzes with a text message or some alert from social media telling me about all the things that I'm missing out on. Or maybe it's just my youngest yelling from the bathroom window for me to come and wipe his butt. Whatever it is, the peace and the solitude, they never last. And my guess is that this isn't very different than your life. It's not much different than what you experience. But maybe for you, it's not a hammock. Maybe it's a boat that you bought thinking that it would force you into a life of leisure. Or maybe it's a book or perhaps a cookbook that you thought would encourage you to be home more often with the people that you love. Maybe it was just something as simple as a pair of fuzzy slippers. But no matter what the thing is, you found yourself now in a place where you're not able to enjoy it because you're just too busy. This is not the life that Jesus wants for us. It's not the life that Jesus modeled for us. Now, I think it's important to know that whenever I teach about something, whenever I'm preaching about something, it's never from this posture of, hey guys, I've got it all figured out. All you need to do is just emulate me and you'll be all set. No. It's always from this perspective and from this stance of, hey, I'm working through something. I have come across something that I have found to be powerful, inspiring, maybe convicting. And for whatever reason, God has given me this platform to be able to communicate with so many of you that I want to share this with you. So if you're looking for someone to emulate, you're probably going to want to go ahead and just stop the video now and look for someone else. But if you're okay journeying along with someone who's broken and imperfect, but just striving to be more like Jesus, then I invite you along for the journey. We're starting a new series today called the Ruthless Elimination of Hurry. And this is a series that definitely comes from that category of deeply convicting for me that I want to share with you. It's based on a book by the same title, The Ruthless Elimination of Hurry, that we went through as a staff. And each week we would have an assigned reading, and when we debriefed that section of reading that we had just read, it was always the same. We would share these different pieces that we thought, oh man, that was convicting. Or maybe it inspired us to do something different, or sometimes we were just speechless, just thinking about the concepts. But overall, we came to this place of realization that we were living a life that Jesus never wanted for us, and how important that this was to share with the rest of our church family. So that's why we're here. That's why we're talking about this right now. And I would love for you all to read the book, but I also know that for many of you, you're just too busy. So I'm going to hit some of the highlights, some of the key points that I found to be impactful for me, that were some of the things that just stood out to me. But know that I'm not going to be able to cover all of the content of the book, nor could I word things as eloquently as the author could. So if you want to pick up the book, our home groups are journeying through this book as well. Then I would encourage you, maybe I would even just challenge you to do so, to get the book, to take the time. One of our local bookstore managers even stocked up on this book at his store, so that if right now you decide, hey, I'm ready for this, that you can, after the video's done, run over there and pick up a copy. So you can dive in and so that you can journey through this. Now, I find it interesting that whenever someone asks the question, hey, how are things going? Or maybe when you've asked someone, hey, how are things going? How often have you received this answer? Oh, they're fine, just busy. I know I've said that a lot. My guess is that you probably have as well. We say it so much that we might even be in this mindset of thinking this is what you're supposed to say if you're a Christian, if you are a Christ follower. This is what Jesus wants for us. But the reality is that he wants the opposite. In one of the biographies of Jesus that we call the Gospel of Matthew, we see where Jesus says this in chapter 11, starting in verse 28. He says, "Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you, not stress, I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and humble in heart, and you will find rest for your souls, for my yoke is easy and my burden is light." But for so many of us, we've reversed that we've made his yoke hard and difficult and his burden heavy. And I want us to work through this. Because what is the number one thing that is interfering with your spiritual growth? that's interfering with your ability to grow closer to God, to develop your spiritual walk? I bet if you kind of listed through the things, you could come up with a lot. But have you ever wondered how much busyness is interfering with your ability to develop and to grow spiritually? Because perhaps it's actually the number one thing that is preventing you from growing stronger and growing closer in your relationship with God. And we see busyness in this world and this level of constant connectivity that's becoming a bigger and bigger issue, so much so that smartphone makers a few years ago started to implement things to be able to monitor and limit our screen time, or to turn on do not disturb mode so that we can actually try to get some sleep for an extended period of time without a phone flashing or buzzing to interrupt that rest. How many of you have been typing or writing something and you get just one little alert and you pick up your phone and you start to check it, and before you know it, you've gone down a wormhole and you look at the clock and it's an hour later? Well, this connectivity leads to being busy. So how are things going? Oh, fine. Just busy. Now, busyness in pastors has been ranked right up there with that of doctors and lawyers. And I can just speak from the perspective of pastors because that's what I am. And for me, one of the temptations is that I can justify my busyness. Think about all the good that I'm doing, all the people that I'm impacting, and the kingdom work that I'm able to be a part of. But this isn't Christian, and this isn't Christ-like. See, God is love. And Jesus came to earth because of that love. That's why we read that for God so loved the world that he gave his one and only Son. And this is important to understand this key component and concept of who God is, because hurry and love are incompatible. And most of the times that I've said something that I regretted, or that I've forgotten something important, that I've made a bad decision, or perhaps just gotten into an accident, it's because I was in a hurry. How about you? The Apostle Paul, when he writes about love and in this famous chapter of the Bible called 1 Corinthians chapter 13, perhaps you've heard it at a wedding or 30 weddings. When he starts out describing love and kind of defining love, the very first thing he says is love is patient. We're able to demonstrate and convey our love through that of patience. But instead what we do is when we think about slowing down or being slow, we use it as a negative thought and a negative idea. If service at a restaurant is bad, we call it slow. If the plot for a TV show or a movie isn't very engaging, we say that it's slow. When our phones start to age and we get frustrated with them, we refer to them as being slow, or we get upset when the Wi-Fi is too slow, or when someone has a low IQ, we call them slow. But Jesus wants us to have love and joy and peace. And all of those things are incompatible with hurry. I think busyness is actually an epidemic. Here we are in the middle of a pandemic that we have taken all kinds of drastic measures to try to stop. Yet we are surrounded by an epidemic that we seem to be okay with. In fact, we sometimes celebrate. And partly because it's so common. We hear things like, hey, I'm good, just busy, so much that we think it's okay. Maybe even something to strive for. That if we're not busy enough, that there's something wrong with us. And perhaps what we need to do more than anything is listen to the words of Jesus when he spoke to one of his followers, Martha. Now we find this in another one of the biographies of Jesus that we call the Gospel of Luke. And this is in Luke chapter 10. And I want us to start in verse 38, where we read this. As Jesus and his disciples were on their way, he came to a village where a woman named Martha opened her home to him. She had a sister called Mary who sat at the Lord's feet listening to what he said. But Martha was distracted. I think about how relevant of a statement that is. How often do you get distracted within the middle of a day, within the middle of a conversation? He says, but Martha was distracted by all the preparations that had to be made, all the things that needed to be done, all the, well, I should be doing whatever. So she was distracted by all the preparations that had to be made. She came to him and asked, Lord, don't you care that my sister has left me to do the work by myself? Tell her to help me. And here's how Jesus replies. Martha, Martha, the Lord answered, you are worried and upset about many things, but only one thing is needed. Mary has chosen what is better, and it will not be taken away from her. I don't know what you think or believe about God or about Jesus, but I want to challenge you with this. What if Jesus is right? That we are so worried and upset about so many things, but only one thing is needed.
From getting through. Do you wish that you could see it all made new? We do. Is all creation groaning? It is. Is a new creation coming? The glory of the Lord to be the light within our midst. It is. Is it good that we remind ourselves of this? It is. Is anyone worthy? Is anyone whole? Conquer the grave. He is David's root and the Lamb who died to ransom the slain. Is he worthy? Is he worthy of all blessing and honor and glory? Is he worthy of this? He is. Does Jesus our Messiah hold forever the the scroll. The Lion of Judah, who conquered the grave. He's David's root and the Lamb who died to ransom the slave from every people and tribe and every nation and tongue. He has made us a kingdom and priests to God to reign with the Son. Is he worthy? Is he worthy of all blessing and honor and glory? Is he worthy? Is he worthy? Is he worthy of this? He is he worthy? Is he worthy? He is. He is.
You were the Word at the beginning, one with God the Lord Most High. Your hidden glory in creation, now revealed in you are Christ. What a beautiful name it is. What a beautiful name it is. The name of Jesus Christ, my King. What a beautiful name it is. Nothing compares to this. What a beautiful name it is. The name of Jesus. You didn't want heaven without us. So Jesus, you brought heaven down. Our sin was great, your love was greater. What could separate us now? What a wonderful name it is. What a wonderful name it is. The name of Jesus Christ, my King. What a wonderful name it is. Nothing compares to this. What a wonderful name it is. The name of Jesus. What a wonderful name it is. The name of Jesus. Death could not hold you. The veil tore before you. You silenced the boast of sin and grave. The heavens are roaring, the praise of your glory. For you are raised to life again. You have no rival. You have no equal, now and forever, God, you reign. Yours is the kingdom, yours is the glory, yours is the name above all names. What a powerful name it is. What a powerful name it is. The name of Jesus Christ.
his face shine upon you and be gracious to you. The Lord turn his face